bit of both, a bit of us, a bit of them.
For your two goal scorers, you've spoken a lot about what Darwin does for the team in recent weeks, but every number 9 needs goals, and it's been a frustrating start to the campaign for Harvey Elliott, so nice to cap the full 90 minutes with a really well taken goal.
Yeah, both of them scored a good goal. I think it was before our Fulham game that the media asked me about Darwin, his goals and his assists, and two games later he has a goal and an assist. So that's what football is all about. As long as they work hard, they're always in a position to score a goal or to assist. And today he scored. Harvey scored as well. Nice for him. He's been out for quite a long time. Had an impact when he came in against Fulham, and now again an impact with a goal as well.
Did you learn anything about your younger players tonight from seeing them in full match action?
It's good to see them at this level, but they also face this level when in training sessions, when they have to face Virgil and Mo and all these players we have. So we know we can trust them. So we have to highlight them. But maybe you're going to ask me in your last question. If not, I'm going to come back at it, because Wataendo was not a young player. He's not a young player. He's experienced, but we've put him in a different position than he usually does. And it's such a great mentality and personality and quality if you can play a game like this in a position he's not used to. He was one of the main players why we could win this game, and he deserves all the respect from me, from his teammates, and also from the fans.
Means I can ask you a different last question then, as you've answered one for me, but just before the end of your first 6 months, 2 games away from a Wembley final is a decent place to be.
Yeah, but a lot of games in between. So we're happy we're still in this tournament, because the club, the players won it last season. So we have to defend the trophy, and that's what we've tried to do till now, and that's what we continue to do in the semi-final.
Thank you.
It was tough for them in that second half. Is that partly to be expected, given the youngsters in their lineup in that second half?
Yeah, I think once that sort of momentum changes slightly, obviously Trent going off and McAllister a little bit later on, Joe Gomez as well. And then it is a big ask. I think at 2-0 it looked as though it was very comfortable and felt as though Liverpool were going to really stroll to an easy win. But once that tide turns, and it's great experience for those younger players to have to deal with that, different dynamic in the game. And I think overall, although they made hard work of it, they'd be really pleased to come away with that win.
There's something that has to be given to Southampton, even in defeat, given recent events.
Without a doubt, and I think, although they've lost this evening, I think that second half performance will give them really good spirit going into the weekend's game. Fulham away, I believe, which I think, the way that they defended tonight, there was a few moments where you thought they're puffing their chest. A few of the players were sort of getting the fans sort of G'd up a little bit. Those sorts of moments can't be underestimated, and like I said, although they lost, I think they can take a lot forward and a lot of belief, and there were some good performances, albeit Liverpool's side was significantly weakened, but they still had to play what was in front of them.
Yeah, as Izzy says, that second half the chests were puffed out defending, and they did put their bodies on the line. There were still those errors in the first half that certainly led to the first goal in particular.
Yeah, again, listen, I think when you look at what's happened recently, it would have been very easy for them to go under, and this was a little bit indicative of what has been happening at Southampton. And again, there, Bednarek has to get a better contact on the ball. Alex McCarthy then slips as well, which makes it a simpler finish in the end for Nunez. Yeah,
and Nunez does well. He makes the run first and foremost. Debatable, is he onside, offside? It's tight. There's no VAR, of course, like you mentioned at half-time. But this situation, I don't think Nunez's first touch is brilliant. And I think he's lucky the way that it falls to him. But he's got the endeavour. He takes this touch here, almost goes away from him. But I think because McCarthy slipped here, as he's getting up, it gives Nunez the time to actually then get on the end of that touch.
We can see that slip just there.
Yeah, it's pivotal in that moment, because Nunez is coming at him centrally, and McCarthy's central. There's actually less of the goal for Nunez to aim at, but it gives him that slight angle, Nunez, to provide the finish in the bottom.
Do you give Nunez some credit there? I know you're not a big fan of the first touch, but bearing in mind there is a school of thought that he's a much better finisher when he doesn't have time to think about it, and he was clean through there.
Yeah, I certainly think so, and I think his first touch actually takes it away from him. You'd expect most forwards in the Premier League to take a cleaner first touch at this point. I'm being really, really picky here. He smashed the ball into the back of the net, which is the most important thing. But
he isn't going to miss that. Listen, he's needed a goal, and his finishing hasn't been great this season. But if you want an opportunity to get yourself going, that is exactly it. Yeah.
He needed it.
And the second goal, I mean, the build-up is great here.
It is, and it's all about Harvey Elliott's movement for me. McAllister, his midfield partner, drifts wide, he's bottom of the screen. And Harvey Elliott just takes a sort of central number 10 position, but it's his movement, we'll probably see it on the second angle. Finish is excellent, takes a small deflection off Manning, but you can just watch here highlighted in the top of the screen. He goes into the space to then step out of the space, which actually gives him that half a yard to then go and take the first touch and fire across Alex McCarthy. But you can see it here even better. Defenders are in a bit of a twist, they don't know how to mark him, and the way that his movement, first touch with his left foot, right foot finish.
That's the key, putting the ball exactly where you want to have it to get that next touch, which is going to be your finish, albeit on his right side. But the way he just cushions it, takes the weight out of the ball, but puts it in front of him, yes, gets a deflection on the way through, but a really lovely finish.
When you look at Southampton, so many times this season, and I know they've been criticised defensively, but you look at their possession stats or chances created stats, they're not in the bottom half of the Premier League. You know, they're top half, but they can't score. Now, if Cameron Archer could do this a little bit more in the Premier League, then who knows? Yeah,
listen, it's a brilliant, first of all, intent to go and be positive and get himself, the minute he cuts onto that right foot, again, for those of us who've seen him in the Championship, it's what he has done, and he's so sharp. And again, for me here, there's only one thing on his mind, which is what I really loved. Brilliant finish from that angle. Liverpool defending has to be better, though.
Yeah, I mean, the cover, you've got to cover that inside space. You can see from his body language, he checks here onto his right foot. It's Morton who's covering, and I think he just over-covers a little bit and gives Cameron Archer the chance to sort of shape that, and what a finish.
And then 3 minutes later, he had another chance which brought a good save from Kieran Kelleher.
Yeah, fantastic reaction save. And just felt like the whole mood at St Mary's had changed. I think Southampton players felt certainly a lot more belief than they had done in the rest of the game. They had a really good period, and unlucky there obviously with that first one. This one's a great block there, fantastic defending to make sure he gets across, and there was a real time in that game where you did feel that Southampton were going to get themselves back in it and draw themselves level. But
this is a great save in a
reaction.
Ballpark of Emi Martinez saves, by the way, off the back of the weekend. That's average. No, I'm really joking.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
That's brilliant. That's a brilliant instinctive save, and I don't think there was any more that Archer could have done. I think he's really clever with the way he
most
tries
saves
to.
Look average compared to the Everton. Do I would imagine, we haven't heard from them yet, feel aggrieved at this. It probably wasn't a penalty.
It's a foul. Absolutely.
And a free kick and a red card.
Yeah, I mean, the minute Quansah allows this ball to bounce, he's banging trouble. You know, Fernandez is getting the other side of him. And at first, from behind, you may feel the ball's not going to go all the way, it's going to bounce through to Kelleher. But when you look at it from the other angle, I think that's the thing that, for me, will see it better here. Look, Quansah's got to get to the pitch of the ball and just get something on it. Doesn't. Now he's all over Fernandez, drags him down. Look where that ball stops there. Kelleher's not going to get there. Fernandez would be the one getting onto that, and for me it's a really poor decision.
Yeah, it's the wrong decision. Should have been sent off, and it wasn't a penalty, but I really like the run from Fernandez, the endeavour, and I think that's what we're talking about with Southampton, that kind of desire in the last minute to try and get back in the game. They can definitely take that through into the...
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, OK, this is how we've done it, albeit against a slightly changed Liverpool side, but to harness some of that fight and desire, which most definitely wasn't there on Sunday when they were beaten by Tottenham.
No, it wasn't, but then I go back to the point they got against Brighton in the Premier League a few weeks ago, and I thought the aggression was at its best I've seen from Southampton this season. They got a point from it, but I wouldn't say they were like at those levels of aggression tonight, but I think the endeavour, and you could sort of feel it from the players in terms of they wanted it. They really wanted to improve, and they took a lot of pride. Howard Bellis, celebrating clearances off the line. I think that sort of mentality is what they need to harness moving forwards.
They caused us a fair few problems. I think we came into this game, obviously, especially with the circumstances that Southampton are going through. They knew they were going to come out fighting, and we had to be ready for that. And I feel like for a team that we put out there today, some of us haven't played much this season. We had really young lads as well, and I think we fought as a team, and thankfully we can come away with the win.
Tyler was one of those young lads in the team as well. You must have been really pleased with the way the team started there and got control early on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a tough test for us. A lot of the young lads coming in, Shape making his debut. It was lovely for everyone. So obviously it's tough. It's tough staying ready and staying ready to play, but I think everyone that played today was ready, and I think the gaffer chose a different side, and it was tough for us at the start, and I think we gained control very early on, which gave us a lot of confidence, and especially myself. So yeah,
absolutely. And those 2 goals that you got early on seemed to put you in a really good place, Harvey. Were you surprised at the way Southampton did come back at you?
I wouldn't say surprised, to be honest, because if you look at the Premier League game, they cause us problems as well. Southampton are a side full of confidence, and they're not scared to play out from the back and take risks, and it's credit to them. They caused us, as I said, problems today, and they have done before. But it was just about how we could deal with them problems as a team, and the pressure that they're putting on. Making sure we stand strong and defend as well as we can, and despite conceding 1 goal, I felt like we've done that very well.
Tyler, is that part of the learning process when you get put under so much pressure like that? Is it something you can really take something from?
Yeah, definitely. I think playing at this club with these fans, it gives you so much confidence, and especially when you're down, you feel like you're going to come back in the game straight away because of the energy that they give us, and the energy that we all have as a team, and it was a good fight from us, and I think right to the end, people playing different positions, so it was tough for us, but it was really good for us, and we're very thankful to the fans for the energy they give us.
Well done. You through to the last 4, but it's Harvey who gets the Carabao Cup Player of the Match. Will you do the honours, Tyler?
Well, of course I will.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries about that.
Well done, lads.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Southampton 0, Liverpool 2 at the break at St Mary's, and pre-match we talked about them trying to keep it tight at the back, Southampton, and they kind of contributed to the first goal themselves.
Yeah, they did. I think they have made a concerted effort to be a little bit more cautious, but I mean, this here is brilliant play, first of all, from Trent. Again, something he does so well, steps into that midfield area, and you can see the ball he's trying to play there, but Bednarek doesn't get the clearance right. And maybe one thing that has been levelled against Darwin Nunez is a lack of composure at times, but a really good finish. You can see the run there, really tight. Obviously, no VAR this evening, but plays on that shoulder. That's when he's at his best, and it's a bit of a slash from Bednarek, really. But once he gets into that position, I've got to say, shows great composure to
it sort of actually takes a little bit of the pace off it as well.
Yeah, it slows it down for him, and you can see here that Alex McCarthy again loses his foot in, so it probably makes the finish a little bit simpler for Darwin Nunez in the end.
The second goal is similar in the sense of you can admire the build-up from Liverpool, and yet Southampton have a contribution in it as well.
That's right, and it's Harvey Elliott this time, but he's pictured in the centre of the screen on that right-hand side. Good build-up play by Liverpool, but his movement is so sharp. He takes the touch, his awareness to move the ball onto his right foot. We'll see it better from this angle as the ball's worked to his side. Just look at his movement. He checks in, checks out. Bang, he takes his first touch to control the ball and goes across the keeper. Takes a deflection off Manning, which we're going to see now, which takes it beyond Alex McCarthy. But nonetheless, the finish to go across the keeper from that angle is perfect, because if McCarthy does get a hand to it, it falls into the path of perhaps a striker. And it also highlights the strength and depth that Liverpool have in those forward positions, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we spoke before the game, particularly about Darwin Nunez and him needing a goal tonight. But what you're after as a manager is those players that do come in to really stake a claim for the place and really go and perform. And I think they have done that. Harvey Elliott, again, not just with his goal, but every time he's called upon, he's positive. He makes a really